Welcome, everybody. Got a special Thursday night interview here. I have Dale, who is the creator of Oasis, and then Byron is the publisher. Is that right? Of Oasis?
I'm accused. Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, they are Oasis, which is coming to Gamefound in July. So yes. This once again a quick intro, and y'all can introduce yourselves. But I'd met Byron back 2 Adepticons ago. Anyway, he had this cool display board, and I was like, oh yeah. So we're at Adepticon this past March. I walk around the corner, and it is like this even bigger display. I'm like, holy moly. And I'm like, what? Okay, what is this? It was cool. Smoke and turning stuff. And
that's all Dale.
Incredible.
Yeah, credit to Dale.
But it was at your booth.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dale, that was amazing. And you did it all, my understanding. But anyway, so I had to learn more. So, like I said, that's my intro. You guys, what is Oasis?
Go ahead, Dale.
All right. So it's 6mm scale, so epic scale, 1/300, 1/285th, tactical salvage reclamation game. And we can talk about like universe if you want, or rules, or where do you want to? What should we kick into?
Yeah, let's talk. Give me a little bit of the background, the lore, because I like it.
So like very short version. Humanity kind of turns into humanity goes kind of along the path where an extreme version of the path that kind of seems like it's going on where all of the corporations get really big and powerful and they kind of own most of everything. Humanity's not in overall a great place, I would say. The average person on the street owns nothing. You're born into inherited debt. One day we get a weird signal on deep space. A bunch of corporations send out a probe. They check it out. It's this triangular hole in space. They go through it. On the other side is effectively a microgalaxy, just like a few hundred systems, like very small for a galaxy, They start exploring that microgalaxy and they find out this weird little microgalaxy is kind of in the void between galaxies. It's right in the middle. And it effectively is served as, over the course of 1 billion years or so, it's been a rest stop. It's been a staging ground for an invasion. It's been just a gas station for solar power. People have just basically stopped off there, and a lot of them left their junk behind. Some people settled there, lived there for thousands of years, which is in the cosmic scale, just a blip, nothing. And they moved on and they left their stuff behind. And people start going through, and we start doing, the human thing, which is taking the trash because it's cool to us. That trash is very valuable. The comparison I've given so many times, I've now said this 1,000 times at cons, but I use a vape as the comparison because a vape has a lithium ion battery now, right? We don't use a lead acid battery. What does an alien vape from a very advanced civilization use? Is it a microfusion core? What is in a vape that you would just throw out when you don't want it anymore because the juice is done? So this trash, we wind up kind of taking it, exploiting it. This goes on for a few decades. One day, that gate just closes, and a lot of people are stuck on the other side. Now, it does flicker open and closed, but it's kind of unpredictable when it's going to happen. So you can make it back, but a lot of people don't, and it's a mix of just scavenging to try and get valuable stuff and make it back, but also just trying to stay alive and get the resources to stay there, and then kicking back to the actual rules. So what this is on an actual a gameplay perspective is I like to call it contested militarized archaeology. You're basically commanding 2 tactical strike forces that are effectively armed archaeological surveyors. You're going in to go to these ruins, these points of interest, and get some stuff from them, and then try and get out with that stuff before the other guy does, and get out with 3 pieces of salvage is the number. But and you can just try and kill the other person, but that's a slower way to do it. Not really why you came there, and you're going to lose a lot of your own stuff while you're at it, which will play in down the line. Right now, this is very much a skirmish game, kind of but down the line, we do have plans for a campaign system, and that'll really reinforce that don't try to do the kill thing. It's not worth it. You're gonna lose more than you gain. But yeah, that's the too long short version of it.
Well, cool. And I thought because we only talked for a few minutes at Adepticon. You were so busy running games and more games and more games.
I remember you came by
and kind of read your bio. I came by several times, and you were like knee deep, and everybody was having fun. That's what when I go Adepticon and have the store, and I'm looking for, games. I look at first who is having fun at the tables, and that is huge because you have the tables. Guys are okay. It's my turn. Mm-hmm. You and I think it was the second day I went down there. You had people that just started playing that were running their own game.
Yeah,
and they were just doing their own thing. They asked you a question once in a blue moon, but you were going through with two new people, and they were having a blast. And it was like this the fact that the rules matter, but that's the reason I love the background.
Oh.
Okay, I was like, is it just me?
You freeze up?
We lost you for a second.
Or he's deep in thought right now. Come back to us, Alan.
Alan. Well, he's going to have to do some editing on this one.
Okay, did we all freeze there? I think we're back.
There we go. Okay, cool.
So if that recorded, it's going to be really funny.
Yeah, it's I moved to the back room because I got a back room in it, and I think it's probably my Wi-Fi is not too great back here. But yeah, the people having fun,
like miniatures lining the wall.
Yeah, doing their own thing, and new people just playing the game. That's once again, I thought that was really cool. So,
yep,
it was really important to me. Like I always loved like kit bashing and stuff, and then inevitably a lot of the times I actually like played the games. I wouldn't say disappointed, but I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it necessarily. And I tried making rule sets before, and I would say that I'm getting what I wanted out of the ones I was making either. And then honestly, like a big revelation for me was X-Wing and Armada and Legion, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. They like really did something here where you can jump right into this, and like X-Wing was so intuitive and you just understood it right away. And I was like, okay, it's doable. The thing I want to exist can exist, and I'm like, all right, it's gonna take me a lot more time, but I can get there.
Because your core rules are like 12 pages, if that.
Yeah, they'll be a little longer when we're done, but like,
but I mean, you're playing the game.
Spread it out more. I want bigger font.
Bigger font and more diagrams.
Yeah,
I'm old. I need big font.
Same. I agree. But yeah, I want it to be intuitive, and like the goal was really, you play one turn, and you know how to play the next 10. But you just need like a new thing comes up every few turns, and that's when you go back. You're like, okay, I know how to move, I know how to attack, I know how to do this thing. Oh, I'm going to do some salvaging now. All right, I got to go back to the rulebook for a sec. This is how you do it. Cool, done. Great, move on. Do more stuff. It's like, all right, I want to get the salvage out. All right, let me check. Done. Carry on.
And most of the info you need are on the cards, right? There's a card for every model. You're not buried in a rule book. That's the goal.
Yep.
So
I'd love to say I had these all at hand because of this interview, but the truth is this is just how I'm living right now. Just like surrounded by
your life is Oasis.
Like it's just all over the dice. Like,
well, and folks watching, if you can't tell, Dale is very passionate about this game, and that was the next thing that caught me. Not just the players, his passion for this game it's his kid, it's his baby. He's proud of it. And I tell you, I was talking about it here at the shop, and I said, I think, and Byron, you can confirm this or not, I think Dale's a little bit of a perfectionist. He was running demos with one of the best looking tables at Adepticon. I'm like, you know,
and I like what you said on one of your videos about it. I think you commented that our demo table looks better than most final products, which was a really nice compliment to Dale.
Without a doubt.
I agree. I mean, he goes all in, which is awesome. So yeah.
My motto has been, and Byron knows this, much to his chagrin, is like, we're doing it 100% or we're not doing it at all. Like always. Like
no, I can confirm I've experienced that.
and it comes out. It really does. And I think you worded it right. I mean, you can't be a perfectionist or you'd never get anything out, but you're 100% person. You're going to do, you're all in. And I know, I said, coming up on this Gamefound, and we were talking about a little bit before, I know you guys got to start getting a little antsy and, you know, hey, we got to get this done and stuff. So I think that's good. It does put a timeline. But once again, what I've seen from you guys, what you've done, you're so further ahead than most people going in to a Gamefound Kickstarter environment. I'm like, what else? I know there's always something to do, but I'm like, this is the final product. You know, it may be not the 100% yet for you, but to me, it's a final product.
I feel like we're doing the like a logarithmic curve. Like it's almost like we did this big, and now it's like that last, and that's what stretches forever. Like the last little bit to get there.
10%.
Well, and I do like, because I know, in fact, probably about DEFCON, y'all are trying to figure out what was going to go into that initial Gamefound as product-wise, and I think that's where a lot of people fail, is they try to deliver too much. They want to deliver everything, and I think you guys are focusing on, hey, what do you need to play the game? I go back to that. It's all about the game, getting the game on table, not I can sell 100 minis. You know, and especially, I mean, it's basically this is the two of you have an artist, probably. I mean, there's not, you don't have
a lot is Dale, right? And all the sculpting is by
soon Dale. It's gonna be everything coming in the pipeline right now is not me, which feels great.
Yeah. So we have help. We have help.
But that initial, I think a lot of people fail because, you know, Dale only has 24 hours and 7 days a week, you know, but they promise too much. And that's where I was so happy to see you guys. Hey, we're going to focus on this. This is what we're going to deliver. And yeah, we got more stuff coming. So,
and I'll say, Alan, there was a big temptation for both of us to because we got 40 something things sculpted. I have a bunch of stuff in front of me right now that no one's ever seen before besides Byron. And it's tempting to just throw out 40 units. It's tempting for us to just do it. But I think not even the fulfillment factor. I think the big thing is keeping the meta tight. Because again, I think to a degree things like Trench Crusade and X-Wing are a bit of a holy grail for me of a guiding star. Is man, X-Wing launched with just a TIE fighter and an X-Wing. That's crazy. I think it's just let's keep it. I think we're at 17 units. Is that correct?
I think we're at 17 different models plus a bunch of terrain.
And the terrain's something we're just we could keep terrain. That doesn't kill the gameplay. We can keep churning out terrain. It doesn't drown a meta early on. So I'm surrounded by terrain prototypes right now. Hello. Landing pads. I got buildings. I got a huge.
How do you keep him focused going?
I don't. It's best to just let him go.
Let him run.
Yeah, I don't have any control on Dale.
We're this is while we're doing all this other stuff. There's already I'm already starting to work on. Byron knows there's something I'm not going to show over here, but Byron knows
yeah, I know.
One of the bigger expansions that's planned, which is not just miniatures, between campaign and now, full campaign. There's something that's for probably about 6-8 months after, but I'm already just starting to crunch on it. It's really exciting and it's fun and it's different and probably unexpected, and I'm jazzed for it. But
yeah, well, and we haven't really talked, but it's a real combined arms game, right? So the cool factor is there. Just looking at the table, you have 6mm infantry going around with vehicles, and
that's wrong game.
That's too big.
That's our game.
There you go.
And then you have like that. That's a Tiger Shark, which is a capital grav ship, just over top of the whole battlefield, right? And there's multiple capital grav ships, right? And fighters and grav tech and just different vehicles, infantry, jump infantry. There's just everything. And then salvage recovery vehicles. It's really cool. Like the mix, the combined arms feel with Oasis is really strong. And so
one of the things that always struck me with like BattleTech, as someone who came up designing for BattleTech, is that like technically there's all this scale of stuff, right? Like you got like mechs are these huge towering things, right? And infantry is so small and insignificant. And you have these big drop ships. But it never really translates to the game because a mech just becomes a 28mm dude. And then effectively it becomes a 28mm combat game between 4 dudes versus 4 other dudes. And I think a lot about like the size of an aircraft carrier in 6mm or the size of the Empire State Building. And like, if the advantage of 6mm is that you can have big stuff, why is the biggest thing we ever see like this?
Yeah, I love
like this is a small building. Like this is not a skyscraper, but like it's at least it's something. At least I can get something 18 inches tall on the building on the table, you know. But like I want to do a piece of terrain that's supposed to be scaled for 4 feet. Like if someone's crazy enough to do it, print it.
Yeah, and that's our display that you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've been trying to focus. I can't believe I don't have a
floating ship. You know, so but it's exciting. I mean, the like you said, the key is focus. You could get the core game right of Oasis and have a lot of fun with that. You could get that and just have a lot of fun. It's meant for that. You know, the whole idea though is you're going to see what the other units can do and how they all function and work together. And it's like, you know what, I need, which you don't, but I really want a Tiger Shark. I really want that grav ship that is just a beast, right? And I want that on my table. And people are loving, we did a limited release, as you know, at Adepticon, and we sold out. I mean, effectively sold out. And that was awesome. But people have just latched on and blown up Instagram, Discord with excitement, videos, YouTube. I mean, Ash Barker did a video. We've had a lot of awesome response, which is a testament to the sculpting, to the art, to the gameplay. Because it's not just what it looks like, it's how it feels on a tabletop. And like you said, the people playing it at Adepticon, everybody was having fun. I don't know anybody. I don't remember, and I'm being honest, I remember nobody coming up to me saying this was boring or I didn't like it or anything like that. There was nothing negative.
On the first test at Nova, though, I got some of that.
Well, and that's that's the nature of betas, right? And that's how alpha moves to beta, right? And we were beta 4 for Adepticon.
I definitely got some. I was like, "Would you play it again?" And 1 or 2 people were like, "No." And I was like, "All right. Fair enough." Well,
but that's the good feedback. That's what you want to hear is like, well, what's wrong with it? Tell me, right? And so Dale's done a lot of that.
And I think part of it is, and I really firmly believe this, it's great to take feedback, but you remember when I made the questionnaire? But not every game is for everyone. And when I gave them the question, like the feedback cards at Adepticon, I was like, if this is a game you're interested in, help me guide it in the right direction. Right. If this is a game you're not interested in, if it's too far from your interests, don't bother.
Yeah.
Right. I'm making a game that I really believe in, and it seems like just crazy to me and really cool. A lot of other people believe in it too.
You stick to your vision, right? As a designer, that's a key thing. And you know, my job as a developer, publisher, whatever, is to help refine it, not change it, right? And so that's how.
And you've done a lot of improvement.
Well, and I've tested it a lot, right, on my own and with some help, and it's fun. I have a good time just diving into the rules and giving feedback and seeing what sticks, and some of it doesn't, and that's fine. So it's good.
At Richmond Open, I was there by myself, kind of. So I snuck over and thanks for the food. That was still one of the best sandwiches.
We got Alice.
Anyway, but I got to watch. She was just 20 feet away and watch once again the people playing, and just the sense I got was there were a couple of people that had played before, but most of the people had not. Right. And once again, just watching them and having fun, and it goes back to they weren't sitting down much. Most of the people playing the game were standing up the whole time they were playing,
engaged.
Which I've learned that says a lot about, and because I find myself the same way. I'm sitting here, this is a good game, this is chill. But when I'm standing up and walking around the table and going at it with the other players, that like engage is the best word. So it was fun to watch. So
one of the things that was big for me, like early on, was making sure that you managed to stay engaged when it wasn't your turn. And
yes.
Like one of the things I actually tried early on was like making the roles opposed, so you were always an active participant, even as a defender. And actually wound up being kind of confusing and shitty. Honestly, it didn't work well, but it was an attempt. And I think that's where like the command system came from. So it gave you a way to kind of like actively defend yourself, despite the fact that you have like static values. And agreed. For me, Alan, one of the big moments, I think you might have been there for this during the second day. I think you might have dropped by one of the last games. Like there was a moment where at the end it turned into such a nail biter that there were like, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. Like,
oh yeah,
people are pumped. This is awesome. I felt so.
It was fun to watch too. It was fun to watch. It was entertaining. Yeah. I'm back up. I'm a big 6mm fan. One of the guys does this random painting for me. I think he's only ever painted 28. So I'm like, hey, Taylor, how about, had got one of those bushes. I said, how about painting these? And I gave him, it was the, I can't remember, the dune buggy looking pack of 3. And he comes back like 2 days later and he goes, you got any more? Oh yeah. And I don't know, you seen the blue ships I posted?
Yeah.
He's the one that did all those. He had never painted 6mm, and he fell in love. And he's like, I gotta have more. I'm loving the size and the detail. He goes, and I can paint them so fast compared to, a 128mm figure. And he's just like, now he's like, we gotta play. So, and another thing you were talking about, you mentioned Ash. When I was going back watching a lot of, I run my shop at night, especially Saturday night. I'm here till midnight. I watch random videos, but after Adepticon, I was watching a lot of the guys do their follow up, and there's no doubt that you were definitely on everybody's top 3 list.
Crazy.
And that was awesome.
That game, I happened to throw the picture up with 1490. That was another one, and I met those guys even before Adepticon, but they sold out of everything too. That your 2 games were the new fresh stuff. People did talk about Trench Crusades and stuff, but it was not with the same excitement of you got to see this new game.
By the way, that's what I was excited about.
And that's what it caught my attention, because several of them then came back and said, oh yeah, there's another game out there called StarCraft. But several of them mentioned you guys before even StarCraft.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think Trench Crusades, without a doubt, is still the hot,
I came home with Trench Crusade stuff and StarCraft. That's what I bought.
But the fact that you guys are in the same discussion as that went a long ways for me from other people's point of views. So I'm biased. I saw it. I'm sold. I want it all. I'm an easy sell. But when, the other social media folks, whatever you want to call them, and it was, like I said, they were excited about seeing this new game. I played BattleTech back in the day. I honestly I can't do it. I can play maybe Alpha Strike.
I'm with you.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I guess I'm old. I don't have 2 hours to do a turn. You know,
this will be my constant plug, by the way, because Ray Rastia, the line developer, is a friend, and I've done a bunch for BattleTech too, like mech and vehicle design. But I constantly bug him to be like every Gen Con, I'm like, Ray, let me do 2.0 on Alpha Strike. Let me redesign it from scratch. Just let me gut it. Like, please, let me gut it. I want to so bad. So this is my constant plug.
You didn't mention BattleTech. You didn't mention that back once again. I've been what's the word, stalking you a little bit. What is your background with BattleTech?
Vehicle design.
Before you answer that, I'd got from Tabletop. Oh, who's doing your buildings? Tabletop. Yeah, I bought a couple of the buildings, and I was unpacking all. And everybody was watching. What do you get adapter? I put the buildings at, and one of the guy goes, "Huh, that looks like hardware terrain stuff." He's a bad BattleTech, and he had printed all the stuff out. I was like, "So is that where you got your BattleTech stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." He's got tables of that stuff. And then I went. I said, "Hey, this is the same guy." Yeah. So, what is your background there?
I mean, so I grew up with a CompUSA discount rack copy of MechWarrior 4 that got scratched to hell after a while because it was 2 discs for the install. Eventually, one of them got scratched up. Bought it a few years later again for like $9 the second time. And those were like such awesome things to me. And I remember when the Clicks came out, and that was a big deal to me too. And then I didn't find out about like Iron Metals and like the minis until later. And I remember going to look at them and being like, huh, because I expected the MechWarrior 4 versions.
Right.
And then way down the line, like this was like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or so. I don't remember. I think I was replaying MechWarrior 4 for the millionth time. And I was like, I want to drop ship. And 3D printing was becoming something you could do at home finally. So I decided to model myself like, space shuttle-y leopard-looking thing. And then there was this like response from the community, and I teamed up with Dave Lawson, who's now left the industry from like Imperial Terrain, and he was in Austin too. He was like 10 minutes away. We met up, had a coffee, like had a beer. It was good vibes. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I started making some proxy stuff, and then I kept making more. I started making buildings. I made more dropships. I made, and then at one point, I don't remember how I got in touch with Ray, the line dev, Ray Rastia. I think he reached out to me. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, it's like, do stuff for us officially. So I started doing some of the like clan mechs for the first Kickstarter. I did like the Shadowcat and the Loki and the Thor and the Mongrel, and then it just kind of kept going. And I've done, I don't know, like a dozen or 2 dozen mechs and stuff for them. And then I got to work with Johann Heidler, who did their I think they're also co-recognition guides. I remember the like shorter books that they did for like the newer stuff. And then I got to do some like, not just redesigning or sculpting, but like got to do new designs, which was really fun. And yeah, so I have my little side stuff with my dropships in my buildings, and then I've done some like actual mechs for BattleTech. And like once I did layout for a book, which I think Byron knows how, as we go through the rules stuff, how much I hate doing layout.
That's where you have him, right?
Yeah. And we have Greg Horton from Electi Studios helping us out with the layout. What a godsend, and he's doing a fantastic job, and thank God for him.
You mentioned the your guide, recognition guide.
Yes.
Recognition guide, yeah.
Talk to me about Byron.
Do I have it next to me? Oh, wow. Okay, something does.
Now, wasn't that a big influence that you had, Byron? Or was that Dale's?
No, that was, well, Dale, you got that inspired a bit from Teddy, right? A little bit.
2 things. Biggest influence. So growing up, the Star Wars Essential Guides, my like grails were the Star Wars Essential Guides to Vehicles and Vessels. And then my Jane's Recognition Guide. 1996 to 2002 or whatever it was. So just went through yesterday. It's wild to see how ships from 1996 look like they're from World War II. It's actually crazy how much ship design has changed. But that was all cool. I always loved that, but I never thought of doing it myself. I go to Gen Con, Teddy Lindsay, who is working on Orion Front. He was like, I'm bringing a demo of my game. And I went, fine. If you do it, I can do it too. And I brought a demo of my game too, and it sucked. But it got fixed afterwards. But Teddy brought like a bunch of stuff. He brought like t-shirts and hats. And I was like, that's cool, but whatever. But he brought these recognition guides. And it was isometric renders of the ships with a little lore and like specs and dimensions. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And the way that got me in so fast, and I always loved his work. He's on Hardware Studios, and the reason we ever got in touch in the first place, I did a fleet for A Billion Suns. I saw him post his in one of the A Billion Suns Facebook groups, and I was like, this dude is great. And I looked into his old stuff, the stuff he did for Traveler, and I was like, he's super talented. I gotta get him. I gotta get him on the site. So I reached out right away. But yeah, he did the recognition guide, and I shamelessly stole the idea because it was excellent, and I love stealing good ideas.
No, it's a fun read. It actually, yeah. I guess I'm a nerd too. I like those books. In fact, I borrowed it's one on World War II aircraft. Speaking of World War II aircraft, that I was flipping through and just looking at the pictures and stuff. So I love that stuff.
It's so fun. Like, I have the old Terran Trade Authority books too, if you know those, and it's like, I don't know the lore outside of those books, and I think there's more comprehensive things like histories. So all I'm doing is flipping through weird 80s airbrush art with these snippets that are so decontextualized for me, and there's something about it being decontextualized that's really fun, and like I like that, like just as like little peephole into the universe, and you're like, what does any of this mean? I don't care, it's cool. And then you get to the next one.
Well, and the physical aspect of the guide is awesome to me because it's just different. That like you can post all kinds of lore and stuff on a blog post and images, and honestly, I'm tired of looking at a screen all day. And if I want to really get into something deep, I pick up a physical copy of a book, right? And Dale put together which is volume 1, by the way. There's more.
Shut up.
That is
don't say it. Don't make me do it.
I'm just saying, there's more. But to hold the final guide was the first one I saw was at Nova last year, and then
a little short one.
And I'm like, hey, let's, when we start talking, like, hey, let's flesh that out a little bit more because it's pretty awesome. And
it was like, I think it was like 8 ships.
It was a lot
like that, maybe 12. I don't know. And
the final was like 36.
I can do a few more. And I wound up turning it like 26 or 30 or something.
Yeah,
and we were like, let's do some lore entries. We added in that.
You guys made it interesting. We're talking about guides and stuff, but it actually is a story in there too.
Mm-hmm. It's part of
and
the
that
lore.
was again, like, it was just going to be a rec guide, and then we added a little more, more.
Yes, you
like
took that next, and I love the comments, and I want to turn to the next page to see what the next comment is.
And you know what? Actually, this is really funny and really stupid, but you know what? Part of what drove the lore being in there, when you do a staple bound book, which the original version was, you have to do it in increments of 4 pages. Because it just kept, I would do it, and then I'd be like, I'm not the right number. I got to do 2 more pages. I got to do 3 more. Then I do it, and then I have to add 1 more page for something else all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Crap. And then I need to do 3 more pages, and it just kept growing because of that 4-page increment.
Yeah, but it turned out great, and everybody loves that when they pull that up. Ash, so anybody wants to see it a little more detail, Ash Barker, his video on Guerrilla Ministry, he kind of walks through the whole guide.
Yeah, he does his walk.
He's laughing.
I'll post a link when I get this. I'll post a link to Ash's videos, because like I said, if you want to actually the deep dive on what it is. He does a great job. So, well, what else? We're at 35 minutes, and everybody. Hopefully, there's a few people that make it to this point to watch. I mean, what else? Well, I know. Once again, we talked a little bit before about the game.
Follow the game.
It's
right. Yeah. I mean, we need followers on the Gamefound. The Discord is where you see a lot of and
great. Some of those things. The artwork is incredible. The base that the guys are doing it. You think spaceships are gonna do it, but their bases are just stupid. It's incredible.
I'm loving watching that. It's like not something I ever like. I'm a pretty plain baser. For all my perfectionism, when it comes to my bases, I'm very like a little grit and a few tufts.
And it matches everything else, the board and everything else.
But they're going crazy, man. They're people are putting like
Jason Newman
habitats and Rex and like.
There's a lot of good artists that are having a lot of fun painting the minis, like you mentioned before, and doing a great job. I mean, it's amazing stuff. So that's the other thing too, is like when you see the Gamefound, we're trying to like go where you're not looking at renders, you're not looking at like whatever, you're looking at painted minis and physical models, and here's what you get kind of thing. Everything gets printed 10 times in my house first,
right? Like QC like crazy. Then it goes off to DRD, who then like does their own tests and their own test prints. They do a bunch of iterations to make sure the supports are good. I make sure it paints up well, like because I paint the stuff in my everything for the board and stuff. Like luckily the ones for the Gamefound are going to be done by more talented people than me. But like I make sure to give it a go and make sure it's fun to paint, which is like actually really important to me.
Yeah. Who is actually going to be doing your physical miniatures?
We got a handful of people. I got a bunch of those Camo Specs guys. So Scott Stinger and Kevin Witt are doing like forces, or both doing forces.
For painting, right?
Yeah. And then like I think for like what are going to wind up being like the hero mini like shots that are individual, and each one's going to be painted wildly differently, are Jason Newman's, and he's doing one in each. And it's just like the instructions to Jason, who's like an insanely talented painter, were like, I don't know, do whatever you want, man. Like, have fun with it.
And I find that's the best. I got a couple of people that paint for me, and I find they do the best work when, you might give them some guidelines, but even then, imagine this character, whatever, to look like, and let them go. So
he's asking he checks in with me on stuff, but like generally, I'm just like the check-ins tend to be like, this part's metallic, this part's not. It's generally it. We're just vibing. The only one I was like the tiger shark is the only one that I'm going to be a little about. The one that I'm going to be like, that one everything is like, do whatever you want. The tiger shark, you're going to be like, do whatever I want.
But no, the production side, Death Ray Designs, Austin at Death Ray has been our key POC there. So they're on they do really good.
And he did they did the ones that you had
at Adepticon. Yeah, they did all of the production stuff that we had there. So
yeah,
quality.
Really, really high quality. Yeah,
and I'd worked with them. We've been, they've been doing a lot of the Harbor Studio stuff for forever. Same with Laramie from Tabletop Terrain. So in addition to Byron having worked with them before, I've got history with both these dudes forever.
Yeah, they're really good. They're sharp, and
they have the chops.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, these are not companies that are fly by night and are going to fold and not fulfill. Which is very important.
Yeah. Right. No, in this day and age, that's very, very important. And well, like I said, I'm very excited, and this, once again, talking to you guys tonight, this reinforces that to me, that you guys, you're in the business, but this is kind of your baby, like I've started with. And then I talking about, once again, you're keeping it focused, but you got these huge plans, and with those huge plans, you're getting help. It goes back to, you guys aren't trying to do everything yourself, which just, I go back to putting my retailer on, that there's going to be product coming out, new product, quality product, because once again, I see, dealing with especially independent guys, they have big goals, but they either try to do everything themselves and they can't just because of physical, you're one or two people, or like I mentioned, they do this Gamefound Kickstarter. They have everything, and it's overwhelming for them. So I really, like I said, I've got my retailer hat on. Yeah, I'm really like what I hear from that point of view, talking to you guys and doing research on the game. I think it is a game that has legs. There's no doubt in my mind that it's going to be a big hit, and it's going to have legs it's going to be played 5 years from now, 6 years from now, which is, once again, huge for a store that I can go ahead and invest in it now, and I will continue to get rewarded for that. So,
and that's the goal. Nothing would be a bigger blow to my ego than the game just dies on, like 6 months later. Like I would die with it.
That's not going to happen. No,
that's not going to happen.
I would not be a happy camper.
It's not going to happen. So don't worry about it.
So what else? Closing comments. Anything? Like I said, I'll post links to your both your websites, to
just the Oasis Wargame
hardware studios, all that stuff.
Join us on the Discord.
Don't worry about hardware. I love it, but like I don't even right now. I shouldn't.
You're so focused. Okay, I'll just do it.
I shouldn't say that. But I'm very focused on Oasis.
But yeah, and you mentioned the Discord several times. Yeah, I enjoy. Discord can be overwhelming for me because I have my own store Discord that's a challenge enough for me to keep up with, plus a couple other games. But I enjoy, once again, late on that Saturday night, 11 o'clock here at the store, hey, what's going on with the Oasis, and seeing the paint jobs and the stories guys are already writing. They're, what do you call your company? What do you
Jesus, what do you call them?
It's their company. But they forget some of the names. Yeah, they're creating their own company, mercenary companies or companies, and they've got a lore behind it, and they already know their colors and their crest, and I'm just like, this is cool. And the one guy he's writing, I can't remember
so much with so little already, and I'm like excited.
He's writing little short stories. It's like, this is cool. This is cool. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Y'all, what? Yeah, closing arguments here. Anything,
Byron? I got nothing.
Bye.
I'm just, I appreciate your time and having us on. Of course, always good to chat.
Thank you for having us.
Good to see you at Adepticon in Richmond, and hopefully see you at Nova. I don't know if you're coming, but we'll be there.
I'm going to Historicon, but I won't be at Nova.
Okay. So. And then, we're just marching toward the Gamefound. That's our focus right now.
6 weeks, exactly.
It's coming up.
Yep.
And there's a lot to do, but there's also a lot already done, which is great. And I think we've got good plans. We've got, good fulfillment strategy. We've got good production strategy. It's not my first rodeo.
No,
and so I'm confident that we can deliver a really great game and keep it going, right? And support. So it's good to see all the excitement on the pre-release side.
Well, no doubt. I would say good luck, but you guys are not going to need it. You guys are going to do well. So.
We'll take it though. We'll take it anyway.
Thanks for you guys. I've been pushing this since Adepticon to do this because once again, I fell in love with the game with everything. The big board. It's awesome. It's going to do, no doubt. It's going to do well. And thanks for being here. If y'all guys want to hang out just a second, and I'll come back after we close this off.
All right.